What you're about to see. The Cretaceous Forest, the fight for life. The Triceratops matriarch and her 3 calves are under threat. The ultimate power emerging from the shadows. The Tyrannosaurus rex. 2 colossal forces collide. This is more than a confrontation. This is a desperate ecological war for species survival. The largest defense against the apex predator. Who will prevail in this brutal struggle? Who will fall? Only the forest will know. On this channel, we create documentaries about the lives of ancient people and animals. For more videos, please subscribe, and don't forget to like the video.
This is the Cretaceous, where the world's largest biomass reigned. An era where every second is a fierce struggle for survival. This complex web, called the food chain, forms the basis of life. At the bottom lie the plants, storing solar energy, the fuel for this giant ecosystem. Their power is transferred to the colossal herbivores, the primary consumers. Our story begins with the most majestic of these herbivores, the Triceratops matriarch. In this dense forest, the matriarch and her 3 young calves maintain their daily grazing rituals. The matriarch, with her 10-ton body and bony frill, is a moving fortress. Her existence means converting vast amounts of plant material into animal energy. This biological transfer is the source of life for the next trophic level. Because in nature, every gain of energy means a potential loss. The matriarch's thick skin and sharp horns are the price of survival. This colossal herbivore uses her frill as armor, carrying the scars of past conflicts. Three calves, in their mother's shadow, are yet unaware of the dangers the world holds. They are the most delicate link, ensuring the continuity of the ecosystem. But every step the mother takes controls not only the grazing area, but also safety. The matriarch must protect her calves from the greatest threat in the Cretaceous. Danger may not always be visible. Sometimes it is felt through ground tremors. Low-frequency tremors trigger the instinct to seek refuge in the calves. Deep concern about what is coming is visible in the matriarch's eyes. That ominous figure emerging from the shadows of the forest, the Tyrannosaurus rex predator. The apex predator of the ecosystem, perched at the top of the food chain. The predator's appetite requires the matriarch's 10-ton biomass. This is the mandatory arithmetic of hunger. Its sharp teeth are one of nature's most effective hunting tools. Every step leaves a deep print in the soil, warning all creatures in the environment. The predator's nostrils track the scent of prey from miles away. There is only one burning goal in its eyes: to satisfy the energy need. It is the undisputed ruler of these lands. The old scar on the matriarch's leg shows how costly such an encounter is. Scents and sounds initiate a hunting symphony in the forest. Silence can sometimes be the loudest scream. The surrounding birds flee. The matriarch's instincts signal an alarm. It is time to retreat. But the matriarch's massive bulk does not allow for a quick escape. The only option is to fight for survival. Instinct drives the calves beneath the rocks into the safest refuge. The calves must remain motionless. Their survival depends on the mother's attention. But the smallest calf, in fear and confusion, cannot leave its mother's side. It stands right outside the defense line, with the potential to make a fatal mistake. The predator finally emerges from the shadows, prey and predator face to face. The inevitable conflict between the two colossal ends of the food chain begins. The T-Rex's roar shatters the silence of the forest. The matriarch tenses her muscles and wards off the first attack. But even her armor cannot withstand the predator's strength forever. The moment horn and tooth, bone and scale clash, dust and fury. The matriarch's frill absorbs a massive blow. The predator's scaly skin is grazed by the Triceratops's horn attack. Blood begins to flow. The predator seeks the slightest weakness in the matriarch's defense. As the struggle prolongs, both sides become exhausted. Energy is running out. The matriarch's fatigue is evident in her defensive stance. The wound on her leg accelerates blood loss. Time is on the predator's side. At that very moment, the smallest calf cries out in fear. The matriarch instinctively turns towards her calf. This is a fatal distraction. The defensive frill creates the gap the predator was waiting for. The T-Rex attacks with incredible speed. Its jaws lock onto the neck muscle. The Matriarch's final struggle. The biomass transfer has begun. The body collapses onto the ground. The predator is victorious. The ecosystem is balanced. The predator's head is high. The toughest prey has become a new energy source. The young T-Rexes arrive at their prey at their mother's call. The matriarch's lifeless body now provides the transfer of nutrients from primary consumer to secondary consumer. This is the brutal rule of survival. One's death is the other's life. The two calves under the rock watch their mother's fate. But the smallest calf remains as a forgotten shadow among the ferns. The predator family is busy consuming the energy, overlooking the smallest danger. The smallest calf is learning the lesson of survival in the shadow of the matriarch's horns. The smallest calf is learning the lesson of survival in the shadow of the matriarch's horns. The smallest calf emerges from the remains of the nest, alone and trembling. Now, it is the continuation of the biological cycle that its mother started. It will draw its energy from plants. Time passes, the calf's frill grows. It is the next matriarch candidate. But the threat is always there. A new predator appears on the horizon. The food chain is never broken. Only the players change. Life in the Cretaceous is merely a cycle.